you asked that question, one of the things that came to mind was, I think I remember a conversation I was having with a friend of mine like a couple of years ago, and we were talking about how being a photographer can be seasonal, depending on the genre you're doing, and how that is just what it is, right? That means there are times when it's peak season, and there are times when it's like downtime. And downtimes can be tough. And I remember leaving that conversation thinking, is this really going to be my life? Like, why should there be a downtime? Like, must there be a downtime? And I think it may be because I didn't understand the role of a slow season and what you were supposed to do at that time. When you start out, you think that you should just keep dialing in. That means every single month you should just be shoot. Especially if you're like the only one, if you're the only photographer, you're the only creative in your business, you just have to keep going. It's good because it gives you the sense that you're constantly making money. However, the problem with that is that you get into the trap of making too little and just working too hard, because like you're just constantly working. You feel like you need to keep doing the work every single week, every single month to just show that something is happening. Meanwhile, you're barely getting anything from that. So you're working too hard and then you're earning little. And that's because you don't have time for anything else. You don't have time to think. You don't have time to plan. You don't have time to strategize. You don't have time to think about your business, see your business from another point of view, and not just be consumed by jobs and all of this. You don't have time to reinvent yourself, right? So when I look back and remember when it felt that way, where things were just moving fast to the point I realized that this is not even, you're working a lot, but you're not making any money and this isn't the way to go. I started to appreciate slow seasons, because slow seasons are they're gifts to you. What you do in those times defines everything. Now, there are times in the year, right, depending on the genre of photography that you are doing, right? So for instance, if you're a wedding photographer, there are times that are saturated with events. That's the truth, right? Holiday seasons, Christmas seasons, those seasons are super busy. And I think for most creatives, those seasons are super busy. But then there are seasons where it's like there's a slow down, right? There's a slowdown. Now in the peak season, you're supposed to maximize. That means do everything that you can. Get the best deals, get the best jobs, close up as many as you can, right? And get the work done so that you can have a pool of funds to rely on or rest on when the season gets slow. Now, when the season gets slow, it's a time for you to first of all breathe, because you have been constantly, you've been working constantly. It's a season for you to make sure you deliver on everything that you have promised to clients. Because again, when you're flooded with work, you do the work, you actually need time to do the post work and now deliver on that and give good client service. So that's what those slow seasons are actually supposed to be for. But beyond that is a time for you to look at your business from outside in and say, what am I doing, right? Where am I going to? Where is this business going to? What is my long-term vision? What plan do I have for the year? What are my revenue streams? What are the new things that can I do in my business? How can I upgrade my portfolio? I want to attract a certain kind of clients. How can I build a portfolio that is going to attract those clients? How can I position myself to start marketing to a certain target market, right? How can I develop myself, right? Because there are areas I feel like I'm not strong in. This is the time for me to really press down and learn or gain those skills, so that once the season booms up again, you can again maximize. So in the true sense of it, there is no slow season, because again, it's like different activities peaking at different points, right? If time when it feels like you're not doing a lot of work outside, you're supposed to be peaking on the work you're doing inside. That means building your structure, building your portfolio, doing personal projects, right? Trying to redefine or, reposition yourself or reposition your brand. developing yourself. So there's actually work going on, but it's not the work that everybody's seeing, and that's okay, because that work you do on the back end that nobody sees is what fuels you on the front end, when people are like, wow, you just keep going, but you know where you're coming from. So a slow season is an important season for you as a creative. It's a season that you must desire for, and when it comes, you must embrace it with joy and intention, and deliberately say, okay, within this time, what are the things that I must achieve, so that when things kick up again, then I can do that. How do I need to market myself? How do I need to position myself? What do I need to learn? How do I need to, what structures do I need to put in place for my business? Because all of these things take time, and you cannot be doing that thinking, that critical thinking and planning and doing, and still be all over the place, shooting at the same time or doing jobs at the same time. So for me, slow seasons are gifts, right? You should embrace them, you should desire for them, and if you structure your business well and you price your services well, you should be able to generate enough revenue to sustain you, even when you don't have, it's not the slow season when things are not as busy, but you're working on the back end. There was a certain time at work where, we were very busy for a period of time, and then it seemed like we started getting a lot of we started getting a lot of client feedbacks, right, about certain things that they were not happy with. So we're not satisfying clients as well as we should have been, because we're super busy, we're doing this. So we realized that there were some things in our structure that was not really put together. So we had to shut down bookings for a certain period of time. And the reason, it was an intentional thing. The reason why we needed to do that was we need to go and put our house in order. So as a creative, there's a time for you to put your house in order. Take that time. We need to go back, put structures in place, revisit all the processes, check all the systems, and say, okay, are we even ready? Because sometimes we desire big clients, we desire high-paying jobs, we desire big projects. But the question is, are you even ready? When those things come, do you have the system to carry it? Do you have the, even personally, have you developed yourself or developed your skill in such a way that those big contracts, those big jobs that you're looking for, those opportunities that you desire for, when they come, it will not shake you? So we had to close down to say, you know what, we need to put our house in order. And by the time we put our house in order, we're going to open it up again to clients. So a slow season is a time for you to put your house in order. So embrace it with everything.